Hi everyone, this is Joanna. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you have never made a tumbler but you think that you may want to make a tumbler or just few tumblers, it is so worth it to pick up the tumbler spinner from Amazon for $17. It is such a good investment and you will get to make so many fun gifts for people and for yourself as well, because tumbler making is super fun and I am just a beginner. I really do have under 10 tumblers under my belt, and this one is super easy. When I tell you it's easy, it is super easy, and most likely you already have everything in your craft room for it. So I picked up a 14-ounce tumbler and I spray painted it with white paint. I figured that my alcohol inks are going to pop up really nicely on it. I already pre-mixed part A and part B of resin, and I'm applying 20 ounces of it to my tumbler. Now, usually 20 ounces on a small tumbler like this would be quite a bit of resin, but I do want this thicker layer of resin on it, so when I apply alcohol inks there is something that they can swirl around with, and you know, there's a lot of swirl going on this tumbler. So after the resin has been applied, I'm going to pop the bubbles, and you will see that I haven't popped all of them, and I'm grabbing my alcohol inks. I'm using caramel, latte, and espresso. A lot of people are using teakwood. I did not have teakwood. I also have Let's Resin, a white alcohol ink as well. So let's get started. I'm going to start applying in a completely random order, random manner. There's like no rhyme reason to what I'm doing. I'm just applying alcohol inks, and when you start applying you're like, oh my goodness, this is just not looking right, but you will see, give it time, it will really start looking much nicer. Now this is very interesting because that's the espresso one that I'm putting on, and it almost looked green, and I was after this rich brown colors. I wanted rich brown swirls of different shades of brown, and this was not looking the way I was planning on it. And then I went with caramel and I started adding caramel to it, and that started looking like yellow. So I was a little bit confused. I'm not quite sure why the colors were coming out this way, but you know, give it some time, and as I started adding more colors, they started coming together exactly the way I wanted it to look. And yes, don't forget to add alcohol ink to your handle as well. You want to make sure that that is covered as well. So you can see that, you know, that it's already changing. You're starting to get the swirls, and the colors are becoming darker and richer and just absolutely beautiful. So in other tumbler making, coffee tumbler making videos, people were adding the white pigment from Let's Resin, so I decided that I was going to go for it. Now I really loved the way that the tumbler looked at this point without white, so I was a little bit nervous, and honestly I was not happy what I was seeing. I didn't like this matte look to it. The richness was just going away of the colors, and I was like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? Why am I even doing that? But I understand that, you know, with a coffee tumbler, I think that the white is going to add a little bit of creaminess to it, sort of. So at this point I didn't know if that was the right choice for me to add the white, but you know, I figured I'm just gonna give it a shot. I started doing it, so let's just finish it off. So what I started doing is I started adding alcohol ink to the parts where I already added white, and I think that it really did help. And you can see that the swirls are starting to form, and honestly it's a huge transformation that you're going to see between what we see right now and in 12 hours when I actually took the tumbler off and it was dry and I was able to add decals to it. It's amazing how much swirling, how much movement is going to happen in the next 12 hours. So just keep on adding the colors. It's not going to, they're not going to look the way they do right now, but check out how the tumbler looked 12 hours later. I love it. The white definitely did help, although look in the back. I'm not too fond of the back, but the front is amazing. I think I was just adding a little bit too much white. I think that was my problem, but it came out really, really great. So now it is time to add my decal. I'm going to put fluent sarcasm. My husband heard it somewhere. It was so perfect for me. Now this is of course not a flat surface, so you're going to go from, when I add decals to surface that is not flat, I go from the center and I spread it out outside and they attach themselves beautifully. I think that that's the easiest way to deal with decals that are not on a flat surface. Transfer tape is probably the best invention when it comes to Cricut and vinyl application. It is absolutely so perfect for it. Now I added another coat of resin to seal it, and there you have it. My cup is ready. I just need to clean it up a little bit, and you can see how inexperienced I am with the way I struggle with removal of the excess of resin on the very top. So I'm using X-Acto knife, and all those awesome ladies that are making tumblers are making it look so easy. It is not that easy, but I did manage to remove all the resin from the edges, so the tumbler was nice and clean, and the only thing remaining was to grab some nail polish remover or acetone and clean out all the inside overspray of white paint that unfortunately got inside. But this was just very simple, very simple procedure, and I did it in less than 5 minutes, and the tumbler looked fantastic and was ready to be used, of course, after I let it sit for a week or two, because I like to let the resin harden even more. So you can see that the whole process of making this tumbler was super simple. A lot of us already have alcohol inks and resin in our arsenal, so picking up a tumbler spinner would be just an additional thing in order to get into this craft. But I really did enjoy making this cup, and I love making the tumblers as well. I hope that you guys enjoy this tutorial, and if you did, make sure that you give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channels. And my friends, till next time and till next video, ta-ta.